Okay, so the beautiful thing, ladies and gentlemen, is like 2 years ago, I would have been freaking out about all that. Now it's just like, you know what, whatever. We'll figure it out.
Stuff happens.
Stuff happens. So it looks like it was on my end. It was not the internet. It was OBS. And here is something freaky, though I don't think it's 110% accurate. Pretty sure when I checked the clock last, it was 4:18. 4:18 gang knows what that means. So a couple years ago, for like 3 episodes in a row, we had streams where the stream would end at 1 hour and 18 minutes into the show every day. And we literally were never able to figure out what it was that was causing it. We had to literally just get a new computer. Because we'd had the old one. We were running on the original computer that IRL ran on, and then we got a new one, and it was like a pre-built, and it couldn't handle all the system, everything, all the inputs. And eventually, we just had to cancel it and get a whole new computer, like an actual custom computer built. So I think that, I don't think it had anything to do with talking about Nazis. I don't think it had anything to talk about GUNs, in case it did. I think it was literally just, so OBS was doing this earlier. If it happens again, guys, we're just going to call it today. So this is the first time anything like that has happened since, this is the first time something like this has ever happened to me.
Never happens.
This never happens, I swear. I'm going to make sure to read all your super chats, guys. I took pictures of all of them because I couldn't save them in the same way. So I took pictures of all the super chats. I am still going to get through all of them today because I am nothing if not dedicated to everything. So you know what? Let's just go ahead. Do you want to just go ahead and look through all the super chats?
Let's get through
Let's
them,
just go ahead and let's look through it. So again, guys, I apologize with everything that's going on. If it freezes again, 'tis not my fault. Well, actually, I guess technically it is my fault, but I'm going to have to figure out what is going on with OBS tonight so that we can take care of it. But I want to thank everybody, as always, for sticking with us. Really, really sorry about that. I'm going to save one of these topics for tomorrow, and then we will figure it out. So, all right, let's go through all the super chats first. From Hairbrain Studio says, congratulations, Phil.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Are you excited?
I am extremely excited, especially now. There's obviously a baby in her belly,
yeah,
as
became more real
as the baby gets larger and develops and stuff. Sometimes she would feel it moving, but I couldn't really feel it or whatever. Now, when I put my hand on her belly, I can kind of tell that's a shoulder. I can tell that's a foot. Yeah. So that's when you're just like, whoa, that's really cool. So,
Greg Duvier says, put a girl on. We can't today.
Yeah, the girl's
out of town. We can't do anything about it. Andy says, boys rule, girls drool. Boys. Well, that was true all the way up until the stream died. But I'm just going to decide that I'm going to pretend OBS was made by a woman, so that way we know that statement is still true, even though it's probably not true. Let's face it. Greg Dubier says, put Weird Al on the halftime show. That would be good. Weird Al Yankovic is the halftime show?
Yes, that would be very good.
I would do that. Shane H. Wilder says, I don't need to go to LA Comic-Con to know that AI hologram of Stan Lee is a horrible idea. There is something about it that makes me physically ill. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not a fan. Corey Anderson says, just came across this band called Tied in Knots. Their song Reside Alone RX is pretty dope. Do you take music I bet you get a lot of music recommendations.
I do, and I very rarely take them, honestly. People are like, check this out, check that out, et cetera, et cetera. Very rarely will I look into bands. Most of the time, because I think that most stuff is just kind of vanilla. Me and Sarah have this disagreement. I listen to Architects, and I listen to Bring Me the Horizon, and I hear almost the same band. Sonically, they have very similar, the tones that they're selecting to use, and their guitars and their drums are very similar. The singers, while Ollie from Bring Me the Horizon has more variety in his style, the singer from Architect I think sounds a lot like Ollie. Sounds like he's trying to do what Ollie does. So, and I kind of feel that way about a lot of bands, like the even production styles, and I think that's part of my problem is the tones that they're selecting. There's not a lot of different sounding records. Like, whether or not you like Lamb of God, you can't deny that Lamb of God sounds like Lamb of God. Like, their overall sound is Lamb of God sound. I like to think that All That Remains has a sound. Like, we use the same kick drum sample for the vast majority of our records because I like the way a kick drum sound, like the way our kick drum sounds, and it doesn't sound like most other bands' kick drums. Like, I actually, like, it's a little bit reminiscent of the old Metallica, the kick drum from And Justice for All, because in my opinion it sounds like you can hear the drum. It's not just a fast, you know, tight kick. It's you can hear the actual resonance in the drum. So this is something that I think that has, in modern, at least metal and heavy music, has kind of gone away. Like, everybody kind of goes with the same tones, and I think that it makes for a very mundane music scene.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way with taking TV and movie recommendations, mainly because, like, I get overwhelmed. I'm like, I don't have the time for all of this.
Sure, yeah.
And very few things actually interest me. I love giving recommendations.
Sure.
I don't know what that says about me, but
like
I don't take
like.
recommendations. Like, sometimes I'm trying to think of a time when somebody's given me a recommendation and I actually took it, but it's nothing personal. It's just like, then it starts to feel like homework. I think, what did somebody say? You have said I have oppositional defiance disorder. I don't think that's true.
Do you, did you get the Shane H. Wilder?
I haven't done that one yet. So Shane H. Wilder for 20 says, not the return of the 418 curse. OGs remember episodes 242 to 244. We don't want to remember, but we do. Yeah.
We
right
don't
now,
want to remember.
I'm with you on that one right now. I feel the same way. Corey Anderson. Oh no, I'm sorry. TX Goliath says, you don't need lightsabers and force users to make good Star Wars. Rogue One and Andor season 1 and 2. There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait, Andor is good too?
A lot of people think so.
Where do you watch Andor?
Disney Plus.
Disney Plus.
Then you got to get Disney Plus.
I don't want.
Do you have Hulu?
Plus. I don't.
Oh, so soon you're gonna have to have Hulu anyways, or you're gonna have to have Disney Plus anyways, because they're moving Hulu. It's being moved completely to Disney Plus.
Right now, I've got Amazon Prime, Amazon Video, because I've got Amazon.
Yeah.
I've got Netflix, which I only got a couple of years back, or maybe a year back actually. And now, if I want to watch any Star Wars stuff, I have to get Disney Plus, which is annoying. I would much prefer it to be on, like, well, I think I've got Apple TV as well, but I don't know if I'm actually paying per month. That might be included
Is that
in my
with your
whole
phone
Apple
plan?
Yeah, it might be included with my whole Apple subscription.
All right. Francisco Sanchez Jr. says, Rogue One had weeks of reshoots shot by Tony Gilroy. Disney did not like Edwards' cut of the film. Edwards wanted to make a more traditional war movie in the Star Wars universe. Yeah, so Gareth Edwards, he made The Creator, which I really, really enjoyed. So he's got that, like, I really, really loved his blending of real world cinematography with CGI. I thought that film made for like $80 million look better than the majority of the stuff that came out that year with much, much higher budgets. And Star Wars, look, did you guys see the story the other day about how The Acolyte actually didn't cost $180 million? It cost $230 million to make 8
and
episodes.
The Acolyte was terrible, wasn't it?
Yep. All right. Hairbrain Studio says, I love AI Jordan Peterson. That sounds terrifying.
Yeah.
BMF Nate Dogg says, what's up, guys? What's up?
What's up, man?
What's going on? Shane H. Wilder says, damn it, Olivia. I'm assuming that's in relation to the cringe of the day, 110%. What is this? Arsenal Man says, can you track how many people stop watching during the halftime show? It doesn't matter if he's popular with Zoomers when the audience is boomers. That is true. Viper says, metal shows would be great. Metallica, All That Remains, Five Finger Death Punch. And if they want international talent, Rammstein.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
Rammstein would definitely have a lot of pyro. They're known for pyro. So
bam, 4 awesome Super Bowls in a row. He says, I prefer a check, Jay-Z. He's trying to give Jay-Z a way to make himself his money back. American Metal Mama says, Phil, any baby updates? By the way, congratulations, Brett and Olivia. Thank you so much for that.
Baby updates, no.
Thank you.
Oh, there we go. A third one today? Look at
We'll
that.
technically count it as 3.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much. No updates. She is just basically uncomfortable all the time now.
All the time.
Yeah. She is constantly like, this doesn't feel good. I can't sleep. This doesn't feel good. I can't move. Help me get up, So.
All right. Arsenal Man says, it doesn't matter if soccer is popular outside of America because America is the only country that matters.
There's nothing outside of America.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Everything outside of America is a mistake.
Not a real thing. All right. Greg Duvier says, the halftime show is not for football fans. It is to attract none. Football fans want to watch, I think he meant no football fans want to watch that game. I hate it, but it is what it is for. Yeah, I mean, it's become a spectacle in and of itself. Even back in the Michael Jackson era, right?
Mm-hmm.
Shane H. Wilder says the last rock band in the Super Bowl was The Who in 2010. The last American rock band performance was 2008 with Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
And even that is like very much not very rock.
Yeah.
Jay
Turbo says, I agree with Phil about Bad Bunny. He is dumb. A lot of Hispanics call him out for years ago for being so left wing. He did date Kendall Jenner. I didn't know that. American Metal Mama says, Brett, you got me watching High Potential. Yes.
There you go.
Yes. See, it's good when I give updates, but other people, I can't expect me to take them. I just never have the time. If you're looking for other good things that are on TV right now, there's a show called Hotel Costiera. You guys have heard me sing its praises. I just finished it. It was really, really good. It was a lot of fun. I would say that the overarching mystery was a bit underwhelming, but you didn't go to the show to look for an enthralling mystery. I went to the show to find something that gave me an entertaining, bit of episodic TV in spite of the overarching story, which I don't think was that important. Jesse Williams is an interesting choice to play a Marine. It was a weird look, but it fit he has a weird delivery of his lines, but it fits for the theme of the show, for the tone of the show. Got a couple more here. Hairbrain Studio says that's the one with Terry Hatcher's butt. Yes, that was the James Bond movie with Terry Hatcher's butt. I think I heard on set that her and Pierce Brosnan didn't necessarily get along or have that great a chemistry. It's too bad. Wyatt Kaldenberg says, I was the head of security for a radical group. One legal thing I did to stop bad things was to have people infiltrate, collect info, and give it to the police. I stopped a lot. Prevention is the security. Well, what do you mean you were head of security for a radical group? Why would you do that?
Yeah, I don't understand.
And we got one more here from Pop Culture Junkie. He says, thank you both for keeping me entertained on my birthday. I'm pretty sure I'm probably one of your oldest subscribers, and I'm damn proud of it.
Happy birthday.
See, that's why I make the jokes about the boomers sometimes, but I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just unless it's certain critiques, but in general I don't have an overarching dislike for anybody. Corey Anderson says Nazis are bad, but are they as bad as the leftists? Phil?
Nazis are leftists.
Whoa. Corey Anderson says lies. It was Mary. That could be 100% true. I paid attention for I'm getting that the current bit rate is down, but there was no problems indicating it was definitely OBS. But now, when Phil doesn't move a lot, I start to get paranoid that the system is freezing again. So we don't want that to happen. Corey Anderson says, was Aiden Mattis available? Aiden was, he's working. I actually reached out to him a month ago. He was working. Plus, he's planning a wedding of his own. So he's got his own stuff going on. Go through here. It better not be the 418 curse again. I'm going to be pissed if that's what this was. Corey Anderson says, can you have Olivia guest host on Wednesday? I'm not doing an episode on Wednesday. Again, on Wednesday, I will be doing, assuming that we get all of this crap figured out and that we don't have to worry about issues with OBS again causing problems. I'm going to be doing a Q&A on Wednesday. I've already got everything lined up to do that. But if you have a question you'd like to ask, you can go ahead and submit it on either my X page or the YouTube community tab where there's a post up there for it. But also, guys, you can super chat that day, but the questions that were posed beforehand will be getting preference that day. We'll be going through those first. Adam says, do you ever look up songs from TV shows and movies? All the time. All the time. Not as much these days. I think actually one of the things that Hollywood doesn't do anymore, and somebody can, push back if they want, Hollywood in television has lost the art of the montage. They used to be really... Look, the Terminal List Dark Wolf actually understands this perfectly. So there was a tweet...
So there's a montage in Terminal List Dark World?
There's more than a few.
Nice.
Okay, so the music... So I pointed out to somebody, they were like, is this show Dad TV? I said, yes, it's Dad TV. How do I know this? Because after the opening scene where there's a huge gunfight and a bunch of explosions... AC/DC comes on. It's made for, it knows its audience really, really well. Mm-hmm. And they solidified that further on down the line in the show. It was like episode 5 or 6. There's a montage where they start prepping a mission and Sober by Tool comes on. I'm like, oh, they know exactly who's watching this show. Yep. Also, I don't know the name of the song, but there was music playing over the scene where they absolutely destroy the plane full of Iranian officials. And the whole thing is like, if that doesn't get you hype, you're not a dude. Like you're just not a dude. You literally watch them like get out of their car and just start annihilating a private jet.
And sick.
it's freaking awesome, and it's just
sick.
It's kind of sick. Hollywood used to know the meaning of how to do a good montage, and they don't really do that well. If you're looking to find the songs that you see in TVs and movies, the best place to do that is a place called TuneFind. I think there's an app for it, but it's just a website called TuneFind, and you can search by television show and episode as well as artist. So if you have an inkling of who an artist is, but you don't know the other details, you can search by the artist. Or if you know the name of the episode and the show you're watching, which why the hell wouldn't you know that? You can go and search for whether this, where the song came from that way, which is a good way to do it. All right. High Voltage 75 says, Brett, would you give the new Dexter another chance? Haven't seen it myself, but the people are saying it's really actually good. I'm not going to. I'm going to tell you why. I love the first 3 or 4 seasons of Dexter. Beyond that, I don't care. I'll stick to watching like retrospectives and reviews of Dexter rather than going and rewatching it. There's just something about Michael C. Hall when the show started. And this is going to sound mean, and it's by no means accurate, but it's just a thought that goes around in my head. He would have been in his like early 30s when Dexter started, and he's in good shape. He looks like the dude who could overpower somebody as like a serial killer. But the older he gets, is he going to be doing this into his 70s? Are we going to get geriatric Dexter like giving people the M99 drug and then locking them up on the table and then killing them? It's just, move on. You don't need to keep doing it. It's just not for me. But if you're enjoying it, then clearly there are people to watch it, but it's just not for me. I can't say that I have any interest in it whatsoever. Corey Anderson says, are you going to be doing the Q&A live? If yes, Olivia can sit next to you and answer all the cat-related questions. My first question is, why Snoopy? I can answer you that question right now. Well, I can't answer you the cat questions, but she loves Snoopy, and you spelled Snoopy wrong there. So, Shane H. Waller says, just looked, the stream was 1 hour and 15 minutes. So that's even worse. That means it didn't even make it to 1 hour and 18 minutes like the last one. I don't know what the problem was, but I'm going to be hoping that it doesn't do anything tonight. So, Sean Smith in the chat says, no Mary, no watch. Well, that's fair point. Well, I wonder if that was like, when Tim was absent, right? Like when Tim was absent, people weren't going to tune in unless Tim is there because Tim is the face of the brand.
I mean, for the most part, that's obviously going to be true. But the people that were like, they were saying, "Oh, Tim's not here," they were in the chat every day.
But it's it's weird.
They
too,
love to complain.
They're so mean to him sometimes.
The
chat's so mean.
Look, the YouTube chat. And I think the Rumble one has kind of gotten this way too because now there's a boatload of people that watch on Rumble. It is a special place full of people that are looking to like one up each other with horrible, right? Yeah. They're generally just trying to be awful. They're not just mean to Tim. They're mean to everybody. They're mean to Mary. They're mean to Libby. They're mean to me. They're mean to Tate. Well, actually, I haven't seen a lot of mean to Tate, but they're definitely mean to Ian. They're full of people that want to be mean because it's like they're trying to one up each other.
So in the Rumble chat, DJ Dubs says Brett's recommendation is person of interest or person of interest, or house. So I just put in the chat. Because I'm feeling mildly trollish today. I just put in the chat a tweet that I made earlier this year with 125 television show recommendations for you to check out if you are looking to find something new to watch. I highly recommend every show on that list. I think you could find something in there. There's even shows in there like maybe if your wife and you got different tastes in television, there's definitely something in there for everyone.
It's called Buy a Second TV.
Exactly. Well, that's true too for a lot of people. I've got like notifications on X. I'm hoping that I'm not getting like people like, why is the stream down? What's going on?
No, I think it's good.
Yep.
It's all right. We don't see any Fs in the chat.
Yep. Phil, Peter T says, Phil, respect your drummers.
Cheers, man. We All That Remains doesn't play simple music. Like both guitar and drums, like the bass, you could probably get away with it and kind of be middle of the road. But like our guitars and our drums are definitely very, very, like you have to be a pretty high caliber player to be able to accurately play our stuff. So
yeah. Yep. Somebody says Tate is too mellow to roast. Yeah. Like he is very mellow. It's hard to roast somebody when they're chill like that.
That's true. He is very mellow, but it's also the YouTube chat, so they really, really do go out of their way to be as awful to people as they can.
I mean, I don't read the chat. I read the chat in here. Like at least when Mary's here, I will keep an eye on the chat for things. But like when me and you are doing the show, or like if somebody else is sitting in. And I've got to lead like all the topics as well. I can't pay attention to the chat, so I actually can't look at it. So I probably miss things. Corey and people in our chat, like people make the point all the time of pointing out, like compared to the IRL chat, the PCC chat is like saint-like. Everybody's they get along a lot better.
Yeah, the PCC chat is generally pretty good. They're not trying to one-up each other with the trolley statements. So.
Corey Anderson says, we live in a cynical world. Cynicism is a type shield people put up because they do not want to deal with their own issues, just like commies. I actually agree with that. I think that there is like, I think that cynicism is a huge issue for that exact reason. I think one of the things is like because of the internet in today's day and age, earnestness is highly disregarded. Nobody wants to be seen as earnest for the sake of wanting to be. First of all, when you're earnest, you're being emotionally vulnerable in a real way rather than just complaining about your issues and then claiming that that's your form of earnestness. No, actual earnestness, like saying, hey, I like this thing. And then everybody's like, no, that thing sucks. Like that, you have to be willing to be that way now. Like that's what happens whenever I recommend stuff to watch. Like literally, I did a review about that show, Hotel Costiera, and I knew from the offset, I said, look, this is only for a specific genre of people. If you watched my Terminalist review, you are not going to be interested in this show. I know this from the outset. They're tonally completely different, but I really, really like it, and that leaves you open. And I think that's part of why, unkind commentary does as well as it does. I mean, I know that it's been true for as long as the news has been a thing, is that, anger sells and bad news sells. But earnestness and kindness and that type of storytelling, even just telling heartwarming stories, either gets no views or somebody's like, it's probably a scam, it's probably this, it's probably that. Nobody wants to be seen as if they've been duped. So nobody's willing to take a risk.
Yeah, I think that really sums it up. The whole I've been duped. I think COVID did a real bad job on people, and it opened people's eyes to a lot of the lies that government has been doing. And look, that's just what governments do. And it's not unique to the United States. All governments have lied forever. For as long as there have been governments, they have told one thing, or they've said one thing and done another, and said they're doing things to benefit the people, and it's not really to benefit the population. It's really to benefit whoever's in charge. That is ubiquitous in human history. That's what governments do. But I think a lot of Americans were living in a very happy state of, I guess, like a false sense of our government wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
And I think that COVID, in conjunction with the internet, because I think the things that people found out about COVID and about the way that the government was behaving would not have been exposed without the internet. I think people have had the scales lifted from their eyes, and they realize, oh wow, the American government is actually really dishonest with the people. And again, I think that as much as that is a true statement, the United States government is very dishonest with the people, and the things that they said during COVID were not true, and they were using media and social media to not only crack down on dissent, but they were also using it to spread lies. That's all true. That doesn't mean that the United States government is the worst liar ever. I think that is actually not the case.
Who is? You got one?
Well, I think North Korea is pretty bad. North Korea says things like their leader doesn't poop. His body is so efficient that he doesn't poop, and they believe those things because North Korea has such a tight control on the information going into and coming out of the country. So there are countries that are way worse, and there are countries that have historically been way worse than the United States.
Did you see the story about like the bone glue that China developed?
Yes, I did. I didn't read it, but I saw the headline about it, and it would be cool if that actually is the case. Yeah.
I don't even know how you'd apply it.
I imagine an injection.
The Rumbling says, Brett, you watching Alien Earth? No, I'm not. It doesn't interest. That's why I made the joke. I was like, these are the shows I'm watching. I understand that everybody else is going to be watching something else like Alien Earth. It's just it didn't interest me, so I didn't check it out. But I've heard a lot of people say that it's really good though. So if you're enjoying it, I love that. I love the idea that when everybody's talking about how everything's bad, there's always going to be something good to find. I've actually had kind of like an embarrassment of rich. I've had a lot of stuff to watch lately. There's just been a lot of good stuff for me on television right now, between Dark Wolf, High Potential, Hotel Costiera, even Tony and Ziva, which is not great, but is okay. And a couple of other things. I've had a bunch of stuff to watch, and it's been cool. It's not always bad all the time. Yeah. Man Bear Cow says, Brett, normally I'm with you on skipping the trending shows, but Alien Earth is actually not that bad. It's not that. It's just that the only two aliens I've seen are 1 and 2. And it was a long time ago. And I watched what was the one that came out the other year, with the girl, and I didn't like it. And everybody else liked it, and I did. Was it? No, I'm sorry. That was Predator. I'm sorry. I've only seen Alien 1 and 2. I saw Alien vs. Predator, but that was a long time ago as well.
Did you like the Prometheus and the prequel?
I never saw Prometheus.
Really? I think they're worth watching.
I never saw any of them past 1 and 2, and I didn't see those till years after, because obviously Alien came out in the 80s, right? So I was 2 when that
Alien came out in the 70s. Yeah, so Aliens came out in the 80s.
Yeah. Corey Anderson says, Phil, did Sarah know who you were before you started dating? How does an international rock star navigate dating to find a real person interested in them?
You take your time when getting to know them. She did know who I was. She knew me from. She knew me from the podcast before she knew about the band.
Really?
Yeah. She knew me from the podcast.
Ours are IRL.
IRL.
Damn. That would have been hilarious.
But the funny thing is, like, she says, you know, I heard you talk about the band, and the idea that she had in her head was like, you know, oh, this is a little band, isn't it cute that guy on IRL has a band? Then when we released Anti-Fragile, she was like, all right, well, I'll check it out. And then she was like, oh, wow, they're a serious band.
It's like an actual band,
and
not like a garage band.
Yeah, and
like
then
they actually have fans.
Yeah, and she started doing some kind of digging, and she found like our you know, a lot of our older stuff, our discography, and she's like, oh, wow, like he's toured around the world and he's like done things and blah, blah, blah. So she was... She actually became more impressed after she kind of got to know me through the podcast. So.
Yeah. American Metal Mama says, sorry, I think Alien Earth is underwhelming. See, there you go. It's also, I think it's just like you only have so much time to commit to everything. And I do honestly, if I'm being completely honest, like watching TV was better when like I didn't feel like an inkling. Like now when I watch something and I'm like, I'm going to go review it, there is a part of me that feels that like that impulse to go and review it. But most of the time it's like, I'd rather just enjoy it for what it is rather than review it. It kind of takes the fun out of it. Corey Anderson says, you skipped a bunch of super chats. If I missed them, I apologize, but I got pictures of all the ones that I could find.
We had technical difficulties.
We had technical difficulties, so
it wasn't intentional.
You know, it wasn't on purpose. If any of them were yours, I do apologize. Yes. I am sorry for that.
Mea culpa, mea maximum culpa.
All right. Before we go, guys, would you hit the like button on this video? Actually, hit the like button, please, I guess. It's I apologize again for the technical difficulties today. I'm going to try and figure it out for tomorrow, though I don't know how I'm going to run a test on this without running a stream, but we'll have to wait and see what we can do about it. But thank you guys all so much for bearing with us, especially those of you. We managed to get another, like we were at like 1,300 viewers when we got kicked off, and then we're at like 600 now, almost with 575 viewers. So thank you to all of you who made it back to the stream. I appreciate you guys sticking with us through the problem. I'm gonna blame 418 curse, even if it wasn't 418 when everything went wrong, but we'll work through it. And the funny thing is, Andrew's out of town, so we can't even do.
He's gone too.
Yeah,
huh?
So it's literally like it's bare bones here. But thank you guys again so much for joining us. Really, really appreciate it. Phil, where can they find you?
I am Phil That Remains on Twix. The band is All That Remains. You can find the band on Apple Music, Amazon Music, Pandora, Spotify, YouTube, and Deezer. Don't forget the left lane is for crime.
Perfect. If you guys want to follow me, I am on Instagram and on X at Brett Dasovic on both of those platforms. This show is here 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is, of course, noon Pacific. We are on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, and Spotify. If you would like to listen rather than just watch the show, you can rate and review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify, which is another great way to help the channel out. So thank you guys so much for that. I want to give you guys a heads up and remind you again, Mary will be back next week, and we will be running, assuming we get everything working and everything's working all right, the Q&A session will be going on live on Wednesday at 3 p.m. So look out, stay tuned for that. I've already got a bunch of the questions picked out. You guys asked some good ones. So thanks again for all of that. If you want to follow the show on social media, we are on Twix at popculture_show, Facebook at popculturecrisis, Instagram at popculturecrisisPod. Guys, we'll be back with another episode tomorrow. We'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.